Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks. I've made several videos on the blue part of this, but I've added a little to it, added to it. So that's our target. That's what we need right there. I'm going to take the graph paper tool, which is underneath your polygon tool, set it on 4x4, and I'm going to just holding down the control button so the cubes are square. I'm going to take my virtual segment delete key, holding down the Alt key, and I'm going to swipe. Whoop, I did it wrong. I'm going to swipe over and down and then all the way up to get that U with a little tail on it. I'm going to smart fill that, move it over. I'm nudging. I'm left click, right click. We can get rid of this now. Now I need to make my envelope form. So let's take an ellipse and hit P, Control D and make a duplicate while getting the two-sided arrow, bring it in. Get your 2-point line and hold down your control button so it'll be perpendicular and hit P. Rotate it 10 degrees, Control D and make a duplicate and mirror it. Take your Smart Fill tool and fill that in. That's our envelope shape. I'm going to left click, right click. And I haven't colored this in yet because of a reason. I'm going to grab that shape. I'm going to go to Effects and Envelope and go right here and create from envelope form and put it in there. Now I've got that selected. I'm going to shift select that and go EC. Now what I want to do is, something looks funny. I must have jiggled. Let's do it again. EC. Now I'm going to make a duplicate of that and move it back over to our spot. Well, you know what? I'm going to do this a little bit different because I'm having trouble getting these lines to match up. And I don't really need these lines anymore, but I'm going to hold down the shift key with my two-sided arrow and bring this up. And you're going to find out why in just a second. I'm going to go all the way to there. Now, because this is an envelope form, it would be hard to move the nodes. So I'm just going to take a 2-point line and go from there to there, and when I'm on that line and get the shape tool or the pick tool and make it go up. And I could probably do a lot of different ways to do this, but I find this is the easiest. Whoops, see, I got off of it a little bit. That's why, that normally doesn't happen. There we go. Now I'm going to take my Smart Fill tool and fill in that. I'm going to go ahead and nudge it over, nudge it over, nudge it. I hit the wrong spot. Nudge those three over. I don't want to really group them together. And I don't have to worry about these circles anymore because we're in the same spot. I'm going to hold down the Alt key when I swipe through here. It'll select both those lines and hit delete. Now I'm going to take this and fill it in with blue, or really any color. I'm going to take away the outline. I'm going to zoom in here. Don't move these, nudge them. I'm going to get my interactive fill tool and I'm going to go downwardly and put a little dark. Just a little bit. Now, the sad thing, well, not sad, is the truth, you can't use your attribute eyedropper on this. Maybe a little bit more dark. Because if you use the attribute eyedropper, it's going to be at a different angle, as you can see, but it still kind of helps you to get to the interactive fill tool. And then you can move this handle down, make it look a little more. Yeah, it's not even close. So it really didn't help at all. And then do the same thing for this interactive fill tool, put a little darkness. And you could always do this later. Make it a little more even by moving this handle. I'm going to make it a little bit darker, maybe a little bit more dark. Now I'm going to group these together, Control G, and I'm going to nudge it over. Now I'm going to group this together, Control G. I'm going to Control D to duplicate it, alternate C to have it rotate from the center, and I'm going to rotate it 20 degrees. And just keep Control D'ing all the way around, and it matches. So you've got a kind of like a 3D effect, and I didn't have to use red, but I just did to, there is a little bit of a line there, and I need to correct that. I've got plenty of videos on how to correct that. I might make a second one later. But anyway, it kind of gives you a 3D effect, and you could actually have it come off the one side too, but I don't think that would work when you rotate it, because then over here it'd be on the wrong side. And then let's look at it under a black box effect. And now you can definitely tell my line. And one thing I could have done differently, let's just back up here quite a bit. Okay, let me go ahead and move these. I'm going to not move them, I'm going to nudge them. I'm going to Control D, alternate C, and rotate it at 20 degrees. And I'm going to get rid of that line. Just one way to do it is to take the whole thing and weld it. That'll get rid of those lines, and then just rotate these later. That doesn't look like it's right, but it is, because it's the way it is, because that's the true deal. Control D, alternate C. And this would be a very good one to use the transformation or transform docker, save you a lot of steps. But it gives it a neat effect, kind of like a 3D pattern. Anyway, I hope that gave you a little bit of insight, and hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.